Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans. And a few days ago, I was talking about a fellow from New Zealand who suggested that everything in South Africa was absolutely glorious and wonderful. How deluded that man was. I'm going to link below New Zealand's own travel advisory. And here's a shout out to Philippe who brought this to my attention. And I'll read to you what they say. Okay, when going to South Africa, this is reviewed and current as at the 28th of March 2019, i.e. right now. It's current right now. Heading for South Africa for people from New Zealand. Exercise increased caution. Exercise increased caution in South Africa due to violent crime and the threat of terrorism. Crime. There is a high level of violent crime in South Africa, which includes murder, sexual assault, carjacking, and armed robbery. Whilst most travellers are likely to experience a trouble-free visit, the risk of crime increasing significantly at night, particularly in townships and isolated areas. However, crime occurs at all hours. And we know that crime is increasing almost daily in South Africa. It's become like the Wild West. The days of John Wayne have come to South Africa. The days of Venezuela are happening right now in South Africa. The travel advisory from New Zealand goes on to say, carjacking and theft from vehicles is a concern in South Africa. There have been incidents of car windows being broken and valuables taken while vehicles are stopped at intersections. When travelling by car, it is advisable to keep doors locked and windows up at all times, and not partially up, all the way up, so they can't get their fingers in and push the window down. It is advisable to keep doors locked and windows up at all times. Hide valuables from view and do not stop to assist with vehicle breakdown. Clear debris from the road or pick up hitchhikers. There are reports of drivers being robbed by criminals posing as police officers asking for identification. Particular care should be taken with luggage and personal belongings in and around Oliver Tambo International Airport in Johannesburg. Where possible, luggage should be locked in secure plastic film. There have also been reports of visitors being followed from the airport and later robbed. Be particularly vigilant around the airport. Unsolicited offers of assistance with baggage and transportation arrangements other than from official porters should be declined. Now, this is a hugely important point they've just raised here. If you're at Oliver Tambo Airport and you're looking for a taxi and a guy comes along in a car which is obviously not a taxi, he's probably going to mug you. He'll offer to take you somewhere, but as soon as he's got you in his car and your luggage is in his boot, believe me, the chances of you not getting to your hotel are huge. This is happening in South Africa now. Be very, very careful. Automatic teller machines, ATM crimes are known to occur. Criminals may loiter near machines to rob people when making withdrawals. New Zealanders are advised to maintain security awareness when using an ATM and avoid using them outside business hours. It may be safer to use ATMs located within a bank or shopping mall. New Zealanders are advised to be conscious of personal safety at all times. We recommend you avoid travel after dark and to isolated areas and avoid displaying or wearing items that appear valuable, such as mobile devices and jewelry. No resistance should be given if you are the victim of an armed robbery, mugging or carjacking, as this could lead to an escalation in the violence. In other words, they might shoot you dead. Great for tourists, isn't it? Good on you, British Airways, promoting South Africa as a destination. Good on you. And it goes on to say, terrorism. There is a threat of terrorism in South Africa. New Zealanders are advised to be security conscious in public places, particularly places frequented by foreigners. Civil unrest. Strikes and demonstrations occur from time to time in South Africa. There have been occasioned outbreaks of violence and in the downtown area of Durban and Johannesburg and parts of KwaZulu-Natal, directed at refugees and other African migrants. Violence could occur again at short notice, and bystanders could be caught up in that violence. Now, we know that violence is now happening all over South Africa. You can basically drop a pin on the map and be sure that, protests and violent protests are happening in South Africa. Scams. Commercial and internet fraud is common in many African countries. New Zealanders should be wary of any offers that seem too good to be true, as they may be a scam. For further information, see our advice on internet fraud and internet scams. And then the general advisory from the New Zealand government is as follows. The South African Department of Home Affairs has issued travel regulations related to travel with children. For more information on these changes, please see the South African Department of Home Affairs webpage. New Zealand/South African dual citizens should be aware of the requirement for all dual citizens to enter South Africa on their South African passport. If you're not sure about your citizenship status, you should contact the nearest South African High Commission or Embassy or the South African Department of Home Affairs. New Zealanders living or travelling in South Africa should have a comprehensive travel insurance policy in place that includes provision for medical evacuation by air. New Zealanders in South Africa are encouraged to register their details with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade. Now, I would just say about that travel insurance policy, I doubt that many travel insurance companies offering travel insurance are now including South Africa, because the crime level there is just totally out of control. All right, look at the link below so you can see the original document from New Zealand, and you can see why it is so dangerous to even consider traveling to South Africa.